Hello everyone, I'm Trey Hall reporting from the Debate Channel. Will could not be here today, he is out of town. With that, we will get into today's top stories for July 19th, 2017. The first story that we're going to cover is rather sad, I think, and it just broke by now. It would have been a couple hours ago. Senator John McCain was diagnosed with an aggressive form of glioblastoma in his brain after subsequent tissue pathology following a procedure to remove a blood clot from his eye. He and his family are currently reviewing further treatment, including a combination of chemotherapy and radiation. About 20,000 people a year in the United States are diagnosed with glioblastoma. The American Cancer Society puts the 5-year survival rate for patients with the disease over 55 years of age at 4%, so it's not looking good currently. The president had this to say today. Senator John McCain has always been a fighter. Melania and I send our thoughts and prayers to Senator McCain, Cindy, and their entire family. Get well soon. I thought that we'd cover this story because it's one that transcends politics, and it's one that can, kind of unite everyone. We here at the Debate Channel send our thoughts and prayers with Senator McCain, and we hope that he also has a speedy recovery, presuming that his treatment works. Hopefully it does. With that, we'll move on to our next story. The GOP-controlled House worked into the night Wednesday to draft a fiscal plan that would do little to balance the budget, in all honesty, but would clear a path for their tax plan in the fall, which was one of the major goals that the new administration had. So the plan is not a good one, to be quite honest. It cuts safety net programs like Medicaid and food stamps, which is a big priority for a lot of Americans and will end up doing a lot of harm, but we will follow that as the plan progresses. Republicans are split on the growing deficit, however, and how to handle it. The House Budget Chairman, Diane Black from Tennessee, saying that both parties in Washington have failed to abide by a simple principle that all American families and small businesses do, that we must live within our means. Balancing the budget requires us to make tough choices, but the consequences of inaction far outweigh any political risks we may face. I think she has a point on that. There's kind of off and on support and criticism of the current spending rate and the large deficit that we have. At some point, yes, it will have to be dealt with. It's an inevitable problem that will have to be faced, but the disagreement on that is, how do we close the deficit? Two ways. We can either raise taxes or lower spending, or a combination of both. So there's actually 3 ways. Personally, I think we should cut from the military budget, because there is a lot of extra spending in there that the Pentagon doesn't necessarily publicize as much, that could be definitely trimmed to pay for a lot of different social programs. But the Budget Chairman, Diane Black, has a point when she says eventually we will have to deal with this problem. It's an inevitable problem, to say again. With that, we'll move on to the next story. Growing tensions between the President and the Attorney General. This is also breaking just today. Trump said in an interview with the New York Times that he never would have appointed Jeff Sessions as Attorney General if he had known Sessions would recuse himself from overseeing the Russia investigation. I thought that was, first off, Jeff Sessions was one of his first supporters, so that kind of took me off guard in some ways. In other ways, I wasn't really surprised, because Trump doesn't really hold loyalty in high regard from himself to other people. Now he always wants people to be loyal to him, but it doesn't seem like he wants to be loyal to other people. This extraordinary denouncement of one of his first supporters, Trump said that the decision to recuse himself was, quote, very unfair to the president.